It seems that Beyonce is once again in the spotlight, and this time it's for allegedly playing a part in ruining yet another artist's career. The artist in question is Khale, who is now speaking out about how Beyonce supposedly destroyed her career, all because of some choice words Keyshia had back in the day. Khale, who has always had a complicated relationship with Beyonce, claims that her career took a major hit when she publicly criticized Beyonce during the release of her song. The song, which was a bold and unapologetic statement from Beyonce, caught the attention of many, including Keyshia. It was clear that Beyonce in that track wasn't holding back, telling other female artists to bow down and recognize her dominance in the industry. However, it was the timing of this track and the way Keyshia responded that seemed to set everything off. At the time, Beyonce had already gained global recognition as a solo artist, and her fan base was rabidly protective of her. The lyrics in Bow Down were interpreted by many as a call for all other female artists to recognize her superiority. Keyshia, who had previously been supportive of female empowerment, took issue with the tone of the song, especially since Beyonce was known for advocating for women's camaraderie and unity. It was a dramatic departure from the image that Keyshia had come to know, especially since she had met Beyonce a few times before and always found her to be sweet and kind. In a candid interview, Keyshia admitted that while she did love Beyonce and had admired her for years, she couldn't get behind the tone of Bow Down. Keyshia, being Keyshia, didn't hold back on social media either. She tweeted her thoughts about the song, criticizing it as being self-righteous. Her comments didn't sit well with Beyonce's fans, who immediately attacked her online. Keyshia, in true Keyshia fashion, fired back, escalating the situation further. However, it wasn't just Keyshia's criticism of the song that stoked the flames. She also directed some unnecessary shade toward Michelle Williams, Beyonce's bandmate in Destiny's Child, during the halftime Super Bowl performance where the group reunited. After the performance, Keyshia took to Twitter to share her thoughts, saying that Michelle's performance woke her up and calling her out for messing up the groove. While Michelle took the high road, sharing her gratitude for the opportunity and ignoring the negativity, Keyshia's comments about Michelle were seen as another attack on Beyonce's inner circle. Keyshia's criticism didn't end there. It was clear that her comments about Beyonce and her subsequent actions were getting her into trouble in the industry. Behind the scenes, Keyshia allegedly found herself blacklisted with powerful figures in the industry like The Dream, claiming that they would no longer work with her because of her outspoken stance against Beyonce. The Dream, who had worked with Beyonce on several occasions, took Beyonce's side, saying that she had the right to express herself in the way she did and that Keyshia's criticism wasn't something he could overlook. Despite her career stalling after these events, Keyshia later claimed that she wasn't really trying to take shots at Beyonce. During an interview on The Breakfast Club, Keyshia insisted that her comments were never meant to be hateful and were simply a reflection of her surprise at the song's aggressive tone. She also pointed out that Beyonce had always been kind to her in person, and it wasn't her intention to start any drama. But the damage had already been done. Keyshia, who had already been struggling with her own place in the music industry, now found herself on the receiving end of the wrath of the Beehive. While Keyshia tried to clear the air, saying that her words were misunderstood, the consequences of her actions were undeniable. Many in the industry began to see her as a threat to Beyonce's reputation, and as a result, she was pushed to the fringes of the music scene. Keyshia's situation is reminiscent of other artists who had crossed Beyonce and paid the price for it. Remember how Keri Hilson's career went into a nosedive after she made some comments that were perceived as shading Beyonce? The backlash against Keri was so severe that it took her years to recover, and she even had to publicly apologize for her actions. Keyshia's situation, while not as extreme as Keri Hilson's, shares some similarities. Many believe that her career suffered because of her bold criticisms of Beyonce. After all, it's no secret that Beyonce's influence in the music industry is vast, and any artist who dares to challenge her publicly risks alienating themselves from industry gatekeepers and major collaborators. The Dream's comments about not working with Keyshia after she criticized Beyonce only reinforce the idea that speaking out against the Queen of Pop can come with severe consequences. But what's particularly interesting about Keyshia's comments is her contradictory stance. In some interviews, she claims that she never meant any harm to Beyonce and still considers her an inspiration. Keyshia admitted that she loved Beyonce and had always looked up to her. She even went as far as to say that she had chills watching Beyonce perform and that she had been deeply moved by her talent. However, Keyshia also acknowledged that her tweet about bow down was a misstep, and she wished she hadn't gone that far. Despite her apologies and attempts to explain herself, Keyshia's relationship with Beyonce remains strained, and the question remains, did Beyonce's influence play a role in Keyshia's stalled career? Many believe that the fallout from the bow down incident, combined with Keyshia's outspoken nature, led to her being ostracized in the industry. It's also worth noting that Keyshia's career trajectory had already started to dip before the bow down drama unfolded, but it's hard to ignore the possibility that her criticisms of Beyonce only made matters worse. The story of Keyshia's career isn't the only one where Beyonce's shadow looms large. There are plenty of rumors that suggest other artists, like Azealia Banks and even Blue Cantrell, have suffered due to their alleged beefs with Beyonce. Some claim that Beyonce's influence extends beyond just her music, with rumors of her having a hand in the blackballing of other artists. Blue Cantrell, for example, allegedly saw her career take a nosedive after rumors surfaced about her romantic involvement with Jay-Z. While Blue has denied these rumors, it's clear that the mere suggestion of a romance between her and Beyonce's husband put her in the crosshairs of Beyonce's fanbase. The question remains whether Beyonce's actions were intentional, or if these artists simply failed to realize the full extent of the consequences of their words. While Beyonce has never publicly admitted to causing anyone's career to falter, it's clear that her power in the industry is significant. From her more recent releases, Beyonce has shown that she is unapologetically herself, and her influence extends far beyond music. The industry knows it, her fans know it, and perhaps, most importantly, the artists who criticize her know it too. So, was Keyshia's career setback truly a result of her feud with Beyonce? Was it just another case of an artist speaking out and facing the consequences of challenging one of the biggest stars in the world? Some may argue that Keyshia's career was already on the decline, while others believe that her criticism of Beyonce was the final straw. Regardless of the reasons behind it, Keyshia's story serves as a cautionary tale of how speaking out against Beyonce can have serious repercussions in the music industry. As for Keyshia, she has attempted to move on from the drama, stating that she still looks to Beyonce for inspiration. But one can't help but wonder if her recent comments about Beyonce playing a part in ruining her career are just an attempt to stay relevant now that the public eye has shifted to her tumultuous love life. Will Keyshia ever fully recover from the damage caused by her feud with Beyonce? Only time will tell. In the meantime, it seems like the story of Beyonce's influence on the careers of those around her will continue to be a topic of conversation for years to come.